Looking for Chapter 21? See it here tomorrow at IFC.com. Meanwhile, check out the sneak peek of R. Kelly's exclusive interview with IFC's Matt Singer.
We are here with the writer, director, actor. Did I leave anything out? The everything. The everything of Trapped in the Closet, Mr. R. Kelly. Thank you so much for talking to us today.
It's good to be here, man.
Just tell us, first of all, for people who don't know yet, what Trapped in the Closet is.
I always tell people, man, Trapped in the Closet is an alien, musically and visual, wise. Because it's something that I've never seen, since I've been on earth, and I've been doing music a long time now, for 17 years. And it's like Trapped in the Closet, when it came to me, it was something it was a melody. It was a weird melody. It was, something, it was intense. And I had never experienced any creativity coming from me or anybody else like that. So I call it the musical visual alien,
Now the midget jumps out of the cabinet and stumps the policeman on his toe. The policeman's hopping around on one leg, screaming, son of a bitch, why he runs under the table.
Tell me where the idea came from and how it first started to sort of come about.
Well, it was weird the way Trapped in the Closet came about, because I was in the studio and I had this track and it went do 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 do, and it had this like weird like Twilight Zone type of feel going on, like the ooh, it's like spooky, the feel of it. So I said, wow, what can I write to this? I kept asking myself, what can I write to this? And it was weird, but as I started writing the story, 7 o'clock in the morning, the rays of the sun wakes me. I'm lying in my bed, the whole thing. When I started writing it, it kept going and kept going and kept going. And then I was waiting on trying to get to the hook. Because, I'm R. Kelly, I write songs, people know me for my hooks. So after a minute of writing this story, I started to get real nervous because there was no hook. And after 2 minutes, I was really nervous because it was still no hook. It was like just story, verse. Well, I said, man, this must be the longest verse anybody has ever written. It sounded like a freestyle, and it just kept on going. But then the more it kept going, even though I didn't have a hook, it became real interesting to me. It became real interesting, and it just made me want to keep going to see if I keep going, what can I think of next? What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? What's going to happen next? So now I'm 3 minutes and like 40 seconds and the song is ready to end, because this big build up in the end, the way I wrote the track, I had to end it because that's when the track ended. And then I ended it and it was still no hook. I was scared and excited at the same time because I didn't know what the record company would think. I didn't know what people that I might show the song to would think. But inside of me, I felt good about it. I said, wow. Maybe the story is the hook. I'm going to say the story is the hook so everybody can go along with me. Like, oh, the story's the hook. That's good. Yeah. He's a genius. You know what I'm saying? So anyway, once I got done with the story, I started showing it to everybody around the studio. They was like, man, I like that. I could see it happening in my head while you singing it, while I'm listening to it. And I'm like, that's exactly right. That's exactly what I saw. So the more people I would show it to, the more would say the same thing. But they would always end it with, well, what happened next? I was like, I don't know what happened next. It's just one chapter. It's just one, verse. It's like one big verse. And then I began to ask what happened next. And then I started questioning myself so much, I wanted to go back in the studio and see if I could write another verse. And I did. And it just one verse after another. Every time I put that track up, it just kept coming and coming and coming. And then I would show people. They said, what's next? What's next? What's next became the most popular question around the studio, the chocolate factory, that I've ever experienced.
How would you characterize Trapped in the Closet? Is it a video? Is it a film? Is it a serial? What do you prefer to call it or describe it as?
It's hard to say musical opera or hip opera, you know what I'm saying, or anything like that. I definitely can't call it a song anymore. It's too long.
Is there an end in your mind someday for Trapped in the Closet, or is it at this point it's just like?
Well, it's pretty much whenever the aliens decide to leave, it's on them. They down here studying us, I think, trying to figure out what we gonna think about this Trapped in the Closet. But the whole thing is, man, I don't see Trapped in the Closet ending, because Trapped in the Closet is about us all. And until we all in, Trapped in the Closet is going to be here.
Don't miss part 1 of the internet's first season finale, Chapter 21, tomorrow, exclusively at IFC.com. And pick up the complete saga of Trapped in the Closet on DVD.